Good evening, Sharks fans. Well, not so great evening, I guess. Not the best night for the Sharks tonight. They lose 6-2 to the Tampa Bay Lightning in Tampa Bay. If you're new here, hit that subscribe button. If you aren't new here, but you are subscribed already, hit that like button. It helps us out a lot in the search and all that fun stuff. You know, the YouTube algorithms, all that fun stuff. If you are listening on SoundCloud, Stitcher, or any podcatcher, please hit subscribe. Please give us a review. Let us know what you think. Also, check out Teal Town USA. Check out our Instagram at Teal Town USA. Follow us on Twitter. All those good things. So last time the Sharks faced Tampa Bay, they won handily at the tank, 5-2. Tampa Bay returns the favor, winning by 3 tonight as well. Before we dive too much into it, though, I should introduce my co-hosts. So in the starting lineup tonight, we have Mr. Martinet.
Hello, chat. Hello, Chris. Hello, Kelsey. Rough game, but All-Star break is around the corner.
Yep. And making her second career start, we have Kelsey.
Hey, guys. Wish game would have gone better, but we're getting headed into the break, and that'll be awesome.
Well, you can't win them all, like they say. So just to set this up here, Sharks last played the Coyotes, breaking a 7-game win streak. This is their second loss in a row. Oh no, we definitely need to panic. And thank you, chat, for correcting me. Sorry, I said 6-2. They lost tonight 6-3. My bad there. Honestly, that Sorensen goal, it was kind of out of reach at that point. So that's probably why I didn't register in my head. Tampa Bay in their last 10, 7-3-0. They've won 11 of their last 14. So they've been doing pretty well. The Sharks have been doing pretty well. Couple last minute notes coming into the game. Carlson was unexpectedly out. Ryan tags in. I guess he came off early in practice, and we don't know really right now what is going on with Carlson. So let's just jump into the first. Tampa Bay gets up early. Joseph puts in the rebound at 3:32 after a dump in and center, then rebound collection. Honestly, it looked like broken coverage up front. It didn't look like a goal on Jones. Maybe he could have gobbled up that rebound a bit better, but it looked to me like a defensive coverage breakdown. Alex, what did you see on that first goal?
Yeah, I mean, that's kind of what I saw from it at the first part. It seemed like the Sharks were still finding their legs early on in the period. The first 2 periods, the second period they started off better, but the first period, I thought whoever scored the first goal was going to have a better time controlling the pace of the game. Tampa Bay just lost against Toronto. We just lost against Arizona. I'm not saying that those are even comparisons, but you definitely want to start on scoring the first goal always. So this is definitely not a good start for the San Jose Sharks at that point.
You're going the hurdle. Scoring first must be always. Yeah, I mean, statistically, if you score first, your chances of winning are always better, especially if you're a good team, though. I forget what they said for Tampa Bay, that they had really good numbers whenever they score first, which is not surprising. If you're a good team, you get up and you put teams away. Kelsey, what was your thoughts on that first goal?
I honestly just thought it was a breakdown in front of the net. Jones probably could have had better control of that rebound, but I really just think that it was more of a breakdown issue rather than a Jones issue, as most of the night was.
Yeah, I was going to say, and this is going to be a reoccurring theme, unfortunately. I'll say up front right now, I didn't really see any goal that I thought like, oh, man, Jones should have had that tonight, which, I mean, I guess is one of the bright sides here is I didn't see – we're still seeing the good Martin Jones. His numbers don't look great tonight, but he's largely been reliable. On that note, a matter of like 3 or 4 minutes after that, Jones makes a big save on a 2-on-1. I mean, he saved their bacon on that one. 30 seconds later, Burns goes the other way, gets denied by Vasilevsky. I mean, really, there's a lot of good back and forth in this first period. Sharks draw a penalty. Nothing comes of it. Honestly, Burns, I thought tonight was flying all over the ice. What did you guys think of Burns' game? Because I didn't see a lot of breakdowns from him other than there's a few.
He only had that one break.
Go ahead.
He only had that one that I think it was Hedman's goal that he kind of lost the puck on a little bit, but Labanc also was in on that. So, but honestly, I was really surprised with his play tonight on Burns. I think that he really improved over the course versus the last couple of games. I felt that he's had some more defensive breakdowns more than usual, and so it was good to see him have a good game.
Yeah, definitely. Like I said, there was a few bad plays by him, but I mean, in the Burns giveth and taketh away column tonight, it wasn't that bad from my perspective. Like he was doing a lot on the offensive end to offset a few bad plays. I see Hockey Jerk in the chat there helping us out. Tampa 17-1-1 when leading after the first period. I think that's after tonight because I think it was 16-1-1 prior to tonight. Alex, do you have something you want to jump in with?
I thought Burns had a decent first period. I don't want to spoil the second period, but Burns had a horrible second period, to say the least, and that's what kind of cost us and us our momentum and after the first period.
Yep. So mid-period there, Sharks had 11 shots on goal, which, they had a pretty good first period overall, but Killorn puts it away from the slot. Simic lost point up front. Sorry, I'm trying to read my own notes here to make sure I actually phrase this correctly. Lightning go up 2-0 with 2 minutes left in that first. I mean, a lot of that looked like it was on Simic losing his man. Killorn kind of just cleaned up the garbage in front of the net there with all the chaos. Did you see that differently, Alex, or how did you see that?
That's kind of how I saw it. It looked like just a fluky play, and it just looked like he just didn't get back in time. Yeah, that's kind of what I saw from it.
Kelsey, what were your thoughts on that goal?
I felt about the same. I just a breakdown, which is pretty much the story of this whole night. I think was just it felt like they didn't really come to play tonight.
Yeah, I thought they came to play. It was more in that there was bad coverage at times. I thought they did a lot. There were a lot of positives in that first. Like they got some good pressure the other direction. And on that note, they actually did end the period on a high note. Power play for the Sharks at 18:24. Kane came streaking down far side. And beautiful pass from Meyer. Honestly, maybe a little bit lucky too, because there were 4 Tampa Bay Lightning, 2 on either side of that pass. It managed to get through to Kane, and honestly, Vasilevsky had no chance whatsoever. Kane just buried that, and so it was 2-1 at the end of the first. Kelsey, what was your take on that power play goal?
I thought it was beautiful. Kane's kind of had Vasi's number this year. He had 2 goals against him in a game, what was it, last week, 2 weeks ago. So it was good to see him have a really good game again.
Yeah, he was pretty strong tonight. Alex?
Can you dig it? I just had to do it.
Can you dig it?
But no, it's good to see Kane coming back into form. There was I say in December, he was kind of uneven, but this guy's red hot right now. 2 goals each against Tampa Bay. He seemed. You want Hurdle and Kane to be one of your strongest forwards. You can skate with Tampa, and I was really impressed that the Sharks were able to skate with Tampa majority of the time. It's just when they turn over the puck, they just kill you. Like honestly, like that's the main thing about Tampa is they execute on your turnovers, and that's the main thing that worries me about the Sharks is that they frequently turn over the puck.
Yeah, too many turnovers, too many bad coverages. So the Sharks end the first there, shots 17-7. In terms of scoring chances, they led 9-7. But Tampa Bay had 3 high danger chances to the Sharks 1. The Sharks had 2 power plays in that period. The Lightning come out 2-1. Honestly, not what you want out of the first period, but not the worst. I like their jump in that period. Again, it's you can play great 58 minutes, but if you make a few mistakes, that can bury you, and especially against a good team like Tampa Bay. Second started out really well, actually. Kane takes a pass, splitting the D, gets his own rebound off the boards, and tucks in backhand 55 seconds in from Simic and Donskoy. Another beautiful play by Kane. Tie game 2-2 it's a whole new hockey game there.
Yeah. Great start to the second period. I thought if they didn't score that first power play goal, it would have been a long road. Little did we know it was a longer road than we thought. But to be frank, I think Kane intentionally shot off the boards to get the rebound, which is a pretty smart move, and then backhanded in. Really heads up play. I wonder if that's the scouting report going around the league about Walensky.
Yeah, I mean that was a recurring theme I think all night is rebounds and bounces off the boards. Kelsey, what was your take on that one?
I actually didn't see this goal, so I'm not going to comment.
Oh, come on. You can comment based off the box score. The box score is all you need to see. Come on.
Okay. Kelsey, can you dig it?
Oh, my gosh. Alex, no.
It's just good to see Kane come back into form. So, I think that he had a great game all around, and so that was just good to see.
And I see that we have Dr. Jackal trolling in the chat there. As usual, team number team 91 hashtag. Yeah, whatever, man, whatever. But at this point, things are actually looking pretty good. It's a tie game, whole new game, and that was two really pretty goals by Kane, pretty close to each other in terms of game time. But the Sharks take a penalty 2 minutes later, slashing for Ryan. Shorthanded chance by Kane on that. I thought, oh man, I was like, that's the hat trick goal. No, not so much. Then after that, Yanni Gourde picks up a rebound off the boards, backdoor on a one-timer from the other side. Odd sequence again, odd coverage. Jones again had no chance. He was going from his right to the left. It was again a rebound. I think it was a one-timer off the boards from one side. Gourde picked it up on the far side at an odd angle, just knocks it right in. And honestly, I don't think Jones had much of a shot other than just to throw his arm out there and hope for something. What was your take?
Yeah, you're absolutely right. Tampa's cycle game is pretty good. And they were on a power play for a long stretch. And this was a good power play in the offensive zone. I felt like it was only a matter of time. I just felt like the Sharks D-corps could have done a better job pressuring them on certain points, maybe taking the action to the perimeter more than just hoping that Jones bails them out again, because that seemed like that was going to be the storyline. But it just you can't bank on Jones, even though I think Jones is a pretty good goaltender. He's not that type of goalie you can do that for.
Yeah, and most goalies they won't have that more often than not. It takes a little bit of luck as well. Kelsey, what was your thought on that one?
Once again, I felt that, we keep these defensive breakdowns in front of Jones. We expect him to bail us out all the time, and we can't have that. His numbers this year, they are improving now that we've hit the second half of the season, but if you go off his first half of the season numbers, you can't expect him to have those, and you got to play better defensively in front of him.
Yeah, I would say one of the takeaways I had tonight was that Jones didn't let any stinkers. He has been in much better form, and I don't think that changed tonight. These goals are all a lot of bad coverage in front of him. That if he gets them, that's great, but you can't expect him to make every one of those saves. On that particular goal, from what I could tell, it looked like LeBanc had the assignment on Gourde. That was his man. Didn't really tie up a stick or do much there. Again, you can only do so much in that case because it was a power play. But I just kind of took a note there because LeBanc had a penalty a minute or so later in the offensive zone. Bad penalty. I just took a note how many shifts LeBanc had taken up to that point were 10 shifts. I was curious if they were going to put him on the bench or not. He ended the night with at least 18 shifts last I checked. I didn't see what the final number is. So they did not bench him. And my notes, I think I jinxed it in my notes because I noted somewhere around the mid-second period, Burns has been a lot more sound defensively this game. And then, sure enough, at the tail end of a 5-on-3, LeBanc took that penalty, and then Couture takes a tripping penalty, give him about 17 seconds. Victor Hedman just explodes into the zone, probably about 1 or 2 seconds left on that 5-on-3. And he blows by Burns, blows by Braun, beats Jones. And, well, it's 4-2 now. And it's a lot harder to come back from that mid-game.
And part of this is because Burns didn't dump the puck. This was a short ice for Tampa. I think Burns could have done way more. He should have allowed the defense to set up more. Just questionable play in the second period. He did try to get a quick offensive chance, but it seems like we're getting the inconsistent D play in the first half of the season back with Burns. I thought he was doing okay in December, but it seems like that's showing up again in January.
I think it's a little too early to be blaming Burns right now for that. I do believe that he had poor play in the second, but I think it's a little too early to be calling him out so far.
Yeah,
here in January.
Yeah, I would tend to agree. I think he's been better lately. Overall, this game he played, I mean, if you consider everything he did on the offensive end, while he didn't score much, he was he was causing problems. He was getting chances, and a few bounces. Honestly, I think this could be a very, very different game. Like, the Sharks were getting some great pressure up to this point, but I mean that was kind of a little bit of a backbreaker right there when Hedman blew through and scored that goal. Because when you're looking up at a 2-goal lead with over half the game gone, it's a lot harder to climb out of that hole. In my notes here to kind of wrap up the second, Timo Meier dropped his glove and his stick, went to the dressing room. I believe he came back. I don't know if anything really came of that. I think it was probably just, must have gotten slashed on the hand, something like that, and he was okay. I thought he'd sorry?
I was going to say the same goes with Dylan. I think he got a puck to the face or a stick to the face. I think it was during the third period, but there was something similar to that incident.
Yep. Yeah, and he'd made a great play. His stick broke, leading to a 3-on, I guess we call a 1.5, where he's back there with no stick, and he managed to body up the puck carrier and break up, what was nearly a 3-on-1. So, hey, good on Heed. That was a good play. That period ends, shots 14-13 in that period in favor of the Sharks. They actually had 5 chances to high danger chances to 3 by Tampa, but Tampa had 3 power plays. Tampa controlled a lot of the possession because of that, and not the outcome you want in a 2-goal hole going to the third, because most teams, you give them a lead going to the third, they're probably going to win, but you give them a 2-goal lead, and if they're good, it's pretty hard to come back from that. What were your kind of thoughts up to this point, Kelsey?
I thought in general we played pretty well in the offensive zone. Given a good team lead like that heading into third, you're pretty much guaranteed not to come back. Especially with the Sharks, the third period is typically our worst. We score our least amount of goals in the third. Followed quickly by the first, and then the second is always our best period. At that point, I knew it was over and just kind of was like, okay, let's just see what happens.
Yeah, you were kind of hoping for them to put up a fight in the third, and I don't think they phoned it in the third. I think they definitely tried, but if you have a good team up on you, like Tampa, they're going to put the boot on the throat. Stamkos dangled around Šimik to make it 5-2 at 5:08. Then there'll be a one-timer from Stamkos on the power play, top corner, that made it 6-2. And really, I mean, the first of those 2 goals there was a backbreaker. You can maybe come back from 2 down. You're probably not coming back from 3 down. You're definitely not coming back from 4 down. Sorensen scores 1 late goal, less than a minute to go. Pretty nice snipe, actually. I thought that was a great shot by him. Shots ended up 39-26. If I believe ESPN, I see different shot numbers from a couple different websites, so I'm not 100% sure. Sharks got a lot of shots. They got some chances, but some of it's luck. Some of it comes down to Tampa Bay doing a better job cleaning up the garbage in front of their net, and the Sharks not doing a good job cleaning up the garbage in front of their net. I think really that's where the game was won and lost, is who helped their goaltender out 10 feet in any given direction. I think that's really what this game came down to. What were your thoughts overall on the game and how it played out, Kelsey?
I thought we played pretty well. Like I said, that last goal heading into the third was pretty much a backbreaker going into it. I'm interested to see what's going to happen after in the next two games coming up. I'm super excited for the Washington game. It's a big rivalry in my house, so I'm really excited for that. So I'm looking forward to hopefully them being able to clean up the mess that they started in Arizona and moving forward with a clean slate headed into the All-Star break.
Yeah, Alex?
I thought the Sharks played decent, but they just didn't capitalize on their chances. The shots were 39 Sharks, 26 Tampa Bay. And honestly, it never really looked like the Sharks were putting on 39 shots. So I don't know if that's a fault on NHL.com. So
I can verify they definitely got more shots. I think part of that's skewed by the fact that they were down a lot of the game.
True.
And also a lot of that, Tampa Bay managed to say when they got a quality shot, Tampa Bay would clean up and not give up a lot of second chances. I mean, how many of those goals against Jones were on a rebound off the boards or a rebound off Jones that no one swept out, or Burns not clearing the puck all the way down? Those kinds of things where it's, after that first shot happens, getting the puck moving the other direction, getting it out of the way, getting out of the danger spot.
Yep. I thought the energy was decent in the second and third periods, but the slow start in the first period is what really cost the Sharks. I'm starting to wonder if LeBanc is kind of a defensive liability just because of his size.
You're wondering?
Look, I really do love LeBanc's offensive game, but I think since the assists have dropped lately and the goals haven't really been there, is there someone from Barracuda or someone from the, someone on the free agent or trade market that might serve better role than LeBanc?
Yeah. Is there anyone more controversial than LeBanc since Niemi?
At least Niemi had his Stanley Cup to back up what he was saying.
Yeah. Let's not go there. Let's not go there. Yes. No. Kelsey,
Chris, why did you even have to go there?
Kelsey, save us from this. I don't want to go down that rabbit hole.
My personal thoughts on LeBanc, I think he had a great season last year, but I definitely think he's becoming more of a defensive liability. He's taken a lot of really stupid penalties this year that have put us in a lot of hurt. I think that there's probably someone out there that can fit better, but if you kind of go off what Doug Wilson said, what was it, this morning or yesterday, that he doesn't know if he's going to bring anybody in because he doesn't want to mess up the chemistry. I don't know how you want to take that. So I don't know if there's going to be a lot of changes here coming up, headed into the long run towards the end of the season.
Yeah, I mean, I think they definitely could use another top 6 or top 9 type guy. I don't want to go criticizing LeBanc too hard because I know Ian will just magically apparate and tell me I'm wrong, as he normally does. Just say it 3 times, say LeBanc, LeBanc, LeBanc into a mirror, and Ian will appear and tell you why he's the best. Another thing that kind of comes out of this,
you can say the same for AJ too.
Yeah. Well, for me, if you just say plus minus, I will appear and smack you upside the head.
The dumbest stat in hockey.
The Carlson injury. So I haven't seen anything on Twitter. I mean, obviously we've been on air about 20 minutes here. I haven't seen any updates on that. He came off early during the pregame skate. We don't know what the heck happened. He was reported to be limping, according to Travis McLean in the chat. Hopefully it's nothing too serious. I would say definitely I'm pretty okay with sitting him out the next game or two. Just, make sure he's okay, because it's, if a game or two without him now, when we have a big break coming up, and make sure he gets fully healthy, I would rather take that chance on those games and make sure we have him when it comes to February and March.
Yeah, absolutely. This isn't really much of a story until he misses like the first or second game after the All-Star break.
I have to agree. I think we're going to have a really hard time with Washington if we do say Karlsson. But again, we are playing. This is the first game against Washington, and it is away, so it's going to be a rough game anyways. But I think that it's going to be a difficult time against Washington without Erik Karlsson.
Yep. So, on that subject, looking ahead, Monday, Martin Luther King Jr. Day, will be at Florida at 4 p.m. Pacific time. And then Tuesday will be at Washington at 4 p.m. Pacific. And then they get a nice 10-day break, or I guess 11, depending on how you count it, for the All-Star game. And I assume that if there's any doubt about it, Karlsson will not play in the All-Star game. And they pick up against Arizona at home on the far side of that at the beginning of February. So I would say, yeah, don't take any unnecessary risks. I mean, same goes with Vlasic. Get these guys healthy. I hope they've gotten a sports psychologist for Vlasic to help him get his mojo back, because, man, that guy that's always been a trademark of his game. He doesn't make mental mistakes, and that's literally been what he's done all season long this year, is make mental mistakes.
I think Vlasic has a lot of personal things going on in his life. But on the upside of that, can we talk about how good Donskoy's been since he's gotten engaged?
Yeah, Donskoy has definitely been ever present. He's I haven't looked at what his recent numbers are, but I mean, he's been engaged. He's been very good. There's a couple guys, him, Sorensen, and others, who have been just very steady for the last month or two. But I'll let if you want to go and tell us how much you love him, go for it.
Well, Donskoy's got like 6 goals in his last 7 games and like 5 assists, I think. Just those numbers may not be completely accurate. However, I think that since the Christmas break, he's been fabulous, and I'm really looking forward to seeing how he brings us through the rest of the season.
Yeah, he had 1 apple tonight. He had 2 shots on goal, and his plus minus was 0. So he was a few that were not in the negative. Not that means anything at all. They relied on him for a fair bit of ice time. They didn't give him like top forward minutes like Hurdle and Kane and Couture pulling, but they did give him a good 15 minutes on the ice there. They can definitely trust him to take a good number of shifts. I mean, they kept rolling their line throughout most of the night. None of the forwards ended up under 10 minutes. Just looking at it, Burns ended up 24 minutes. Braun had second most with 21. They played the rest of the guys, just kind of Dylan 19, Heed 18, Ryan 14, 16 for Shimmick. So pretty even distribution. I assume that having 3 games in 4 nights probably affects how they allocate the minutes right now,
especially for players like Thornton. Players that are coming back from injury. Just lower minutes, less ice time. Could just get them on the ice.
My favorite guy in the chat there, One Timer, that is definitely my favorite chat name for sure. He had a comment and I can't find it, but I just love his name though. It's the best. I mean, you can put a bow on this one. I don't read too much into this, because they basically returned the favor from the Sharks. It's the best team in the league at home. Sharks were, they didn't play a terrible game. They played a okay game. The other team played better. They got up on them early, and the Sharks did the exact same thing to Tampa Bay in their barn. So it's a push for the season, and that's my takeaway from it. Really, is that I don't look at it as a terrible loss. I don't look at it as it's not one of those losses where I'm like, oh, they should have won that. I think they got the outcome they deserved.
I thought it was the Sharks showed a decent amount of effort. They tied the game in the second period, But 3 games in 4 nights is definitely one of the main reasons why they kind of showed a lack of energy in the second period. Not a lack of energy, just it just seemed like the Sharks kind of lost a lot of defensive consistency in the second period, and that's what 3 games in 4 nights tends to do to you. Jones was great though. I thought he had a decent night against Tampa, and
yeah, Kelsey.
I don't have anything new to add than what I've already said, and I agree with Alex. With everything that's been going on, I think that it was a lot of defensive breakdown in the second, and I thought Jones had a really good game considering what he was up against. So,
yep. So jump real quick in the standings. This is game number 50 for the Sharks. Calgary and Vegas are both in the middle of playing their respective games. Game number 50. So Calgary is up 4 points start of the day, so they could be up as many as 6 by the end of the night. Vegas is 3 points behind the Sharks, so they could be 1 point behind at the end of the night. Anaheim won earlier today, and we'll get into that in the wraparound, but they are actually in a wild card spot, sporting that negative 29 goal differential. That's amazing right there, because the only team that is worse than that in the West is LA and Chicago, and those two are at the very bottom of the standing. Somehow, some way, Anaheim's in a wild card spot. That's incredible.
Gibson for Vezina.
I mean, he's been the only thing good about that team. Really, that's like the only thing that's been good. So let's go into the wrap around, or what. I don't have the sounders, so just get into it. The Ducks played the Devils this morning. They're actually on a roll now. This is their second straight win after losing a franchise record 12 straight. They lost 12 in a row, and they're still in a playoff spot. Mind blown. I don't even know how that works out. Derek Grant got the game winner. Yeah, that was a 3-2 victory for the Ducks. Then the Avalanche, they just absolutely crushed the Kings. 6 goals in the second period for the Avs. They win it 7-1. Landeskog gets the game winner 32 seconds into the second. The Kings don't really do much at all until they get a 1 goal in the third period. So it's a franchise record, though, for Colorado. 4 p.m. games, Rangers at Bruins. It was a 3-2 Rangers final. Zibanejad with the game winner. Flyers at Canadiens. Flyers win 5-2. So the Team Gritty wins 5-2. Nolan Patrick with the game winner. Sens at Blues. Blues win 3-2 with Gunnarsson getting the game winner. And then Jets at Stars. I know you've been watching the scores. This was not final when we got on air here. Did you see what the final was for that one, Alex?
Jets and Blues. I believe it was
and
2-1. Yeah.
The Stars opened with a 3-0 lead there, and then in the third,
I saw it
came back.
I saw it briefly as 3-1. So 4-2.
Oh, okay. No, I looked at the wrong one, I guess. So I guess the Stars won that one 4-2. Thank goodness. Not that the Jets are really the Sharks' biggest problem right now. Right now, we're more concerned about the 2 late games here. Flames at Oilers is going on right now. That is 0-0 in the first, and then Pittsburgh at Vegas, and that is 1-1 in the first. So those are the 2 games of interest for us tonight. Puck Guy saying in the chat that he hopes Palmanville did not score tonight. That's how I feel every single night, all the time. Okay, anyways, I think we hit all of them. And yeah, there's your wraparound. I'm sorry, I'm not as good as Puck Guy, and I know we're not having the most lively show tonight because I know people don't always show up to enjoy the losses quite as much as they do the wins. So I think probably we're gonna wrap this one up pretty soon. Alex, you wanna kind of give your final thoughts on the night, because I know we're gonna have plenty more games coming up to get our thoughts out there.
Thoughts tonight. Jones played pretty well against Tampa. I'm surprised the Sharks skated the first 2 periods. It's just the lack of good chances against Tampa when Tampa was gifted practically leaving the empty net against the Sharks. So poor offensive consistency followed by defensive lapses. Yeah, against Tampa is never a good solution.
And Kelsey, what are your final thoughts on the night?
I think that, defensively, we got to clean it up. We got to play better in front of Jones. The 10-foot circle around the net, it's kind of been our Achilles heel this second side of the season. So I'm hoping that after these last 2 games going into the All-Star break, that we can kind of cool off a little bit and come back ready to finish up the season real well.
Yep, totally agreed. I think, if they can just it'd be good if they can make sure they don't carry this losing streak into the All-Star game. So you got to get one of those next 2 at least, if not both. Get one of those. That way you're not going into the All-Star game on a 4-game losing streak. You'll pick it up on the far side of that. I mean, a lot more in division games. You'll get a lot more chances at the 2 teams that you're fighting with for that division spot. And somehow I'm still amazed that somehow, some way, Anaheim is in a wild card spot. I mean, that is the team that lost 12 in a row is in a wild card spot.
It wouldn't surprise me that Edmonton takes their spot. They're only 2 points back.
But just the fact that is a thing, so that's incredible. That it really is incredible. So that's the final thought from me for the night is just don't continue the losing. Break it up before the All-Star break. If you lose 3 of 4 going to the All-Star break, it's not good, but it's not as bad as losing 4 of 4. That is just not the kind of mojo you want. And with that, if you're new here, hit that subscribe button, ring that bell. Hit the like button. It does help us out quite a bit on the YouTube. And if you ever want audio only, we are on literally every other platform known to man. And if we aren't, let us know. We will get on said platform. Check out tealtownusa.com. I don't do the Buckeye thing. We have lots of good stories. This will get posted there. Lots of fun stuff. Also, check out the Instagram at tealtownusa. Twitter at tealtownusa. You can find me on Twitter at ChrisJWS. Where can they find you too, Alex?
You can find me at Al Martinet on Twitter. I talk hockey, talk video games, talk TV. Free to chat all the time over there.
And Kelsey?
You can find me at Seymour Hockey on Twitter. And Case Egmold on Instagram. I talk mainly about college hockey and my cute little son who's 2 months old.
Very, very adorable young son. So awesome. All right, guys. Well, hopefully next time we will have a much happier show, much more fun show. See all of you on Monday, and have a good night.